Hey guys, what's up? Surmo11 here with my review of Beyblade Burst Evolution Season 2 of Beyblade Burst. In Japan, it's known as Beyblade Burst God. It doesn't have the same name for obvious reasons. I wanted to start this review off and say that this season started off very strong compared to the first season. This could be because I started to like Beyblade Burst more as it went on instead of right from the beginning. Beyblade Burst Evolution is very addicting and the narrative has gotten much better this time around. Beyblade Burst Evolution literally starts with Vault in Spain. He has been scouted by the Spanish team BC Seoul. A cool thing about the first episode is that Vault takes on a new opponent named Silas, and he uses the sprint boost from the last season. Some shows like to restart their main character as soon as they go from season to season. Pokemon is an example as Ash regresses from region to region. If you watched my last Beyblade Burst review, you'd know that I really like the sprint boost, and when Vault uses the sprint boost, the new characters are confused by it. I mentioned regression earlier, and it happens in Beyblade Burst Evolution. Vault has been regressed, or another explanation could be that since he's out of Japan, there's stronger opponents out there. The new launches were definitely one of my favorite things from the end of last season, but then Vault loses to Silas, he gets a new Beyblade, and he can't use it, so he's back to where he was in Season 1. They didn't have to do this. I just watched a video on Ben 10 and how his character grew and regressed as the show went on. Vault's personality can be the same even if he is a sucky character, but please keep him good at Beyblade. I wanted Vault to be strong and show the people in Spain what he's got, but clearly the writers didn't want to do that. I like the idea of Vault just being good in Japan. Being good in Japan doesn't mean you're good in the whole world. But I think Vault just being somewhat good would have been interesting for the writers to tackle in this season. Vault ends up being late to getting into BC Seoul. When Vault gets to BC Seoul, they have their doubts of his talents, which really makes no sense to me. He placed second place in Japan. That's pretty good. Also, they didn't know what Vault looked like. Did they seriously scout him based off of numbers? That part really didn't make any sense to me. BC Seoul is a lot more complicated than previous teams in the Beyblade series. The team is larger, has different divisions such as the Junior Division, the B Division, and the Main Division, and they actually all live together. There's a lot of new characters with unique designs. It turns out that Rantaro is also part of BC Seoul, and I like this. They didn't split up the cast completely, and it looks like Vault, Rantaro, and Wakia will be together for this season. For this season, the show puts its main cast on a closer level in strength. Everyone has new Beyblades, Rantaro has a lot more focus, and he's actually winning matches. Vault still seems to be the strongest, but you can never tell since they spend their time hyping up the other characters' powers too. When I brought up these concerns and how Vault and Rantaro have a losing streak this season, someone said it was more realistic. You don't win every match in sports. That makes sense, and hopefully the writers saw this the same way as this person did. I can spend forever talking about this season since it is much stronger than Season 1 and there's a lot more going on, but I will try to keep this video short. There's another member of importance on BC Seoul, and that is Free de la Hoya. Free is the #1 blader in the world, and he just uses his hand to Beyblade. It's really cool and strange that the #1 blader is on the same team as Vault. I think Free will be the last opponent for Vault in this show, and Free has a very relaxed personality, and I think that's just because he is #1 and no one can challenge him. The leader of BC Seoul lets him do whatever he wants because of his power. Free is also relied on by his team a lot, and that becomes important later on. As the plot moves along, Wakia has created his own team called Sunbat United, and they will be having a friendly match against BC Seoul. Wakia is stronger now, and that's awesome. Wakia beats Rantaro and loses to Vault. And I don't like Wakia. I've already mentioned problems with his character in previous reviews. He thinks he's the best, but he keeps losing. And now in Beyblade Burst Evolution, he's making excuses because he owns Sunbat United. He thinks his teammates should pick up the slack when he loses. Wait, what? He even calls out Silas for losing to the #1 blader in the world. Huh? Anyways, Free ends up winning the match for BC Soul. After this, BC Soul begins to encounter some problems. Vault and Rantaro are getting special treatment, and well, BC Soul's members are pretty weak. This becomes very apparent over the next few episodes as people begin to leave the team. It's funny because some of the members of BC Soul act like they're so high and mighty when they suck compared to Vault and Rantaro. Silas ends up joining BC Soul, but his attitude is a problem. Silas also stands out in BC Soul with Vault and Rantaro. BC Soul finally enters the league and takes on Top Wind, a team from Germany, and one person who stands out from their team is Kuza. Vault meets Kuza and they hang out for a day before the match. Kuza is in the art for the show, so I'm guessing he will join BC Soul at some point, and so will Wakia. BC Soul ends up losing the match, but the fact is Kuza got a lot of focus. He's in promotional images for the show. He's going to come up later at some point. As I brought up earlier, the team relying on Free too much becomes important. If you notice, Free wins all of his matches in the show. He's pretty much a plot device at this point. Well, the owner of the American team wants Free to join his team, and nothing comes out of this right away, but as the episodes go on, BC Soul is losing matches, and Free finally decides to join the American team. Shu is also on the American team, and that could be a problem. This causes a damper mood for BC Soul, and you can really see how much they relied on Free. Daigo is back, and he's on the French team, and I want to quickly mention that I hate Stan. He is the worst character in the show. He is worse than Wakia. He trash talks Vault, but he's the one who's bad at Beyblading. He wants to ruin Vault because he's the reason that Django left. And Django is a member that left BC Soul earlier on in the show. Not that important. So Vault being seen with Daigo makes BC Soul think that he's leaving the team and everyone doesn't like him after that. What kind of childish stuff is this? Well, I am watching Beyblade. I have to think about that. So BC Soul loses quite a lot and Vault is involved with those losses. It's a change from last season where Vault won most of the time. If this is the writer's attempt at making the show more realistic in a sporting sense, that's fine. If there's a reason besides that, I don't think it's okay then. I was thinking that another individual tournament could be coming, but this world tournament seems like it might last longer than the season. I only say that because they spent a lot of the episodes already developing BC Soul, and sure, they could definitely finish the world tournament in this season, but the development is being spread across multiple episodes, so I'm not really sure. And my main point is that they're taking their time with this season. I'd say the overall narrative of this season is much stronger than Beyblade Burst. I was addicted to Beyblade Burst Evolution and I couldn't wait for the next episode. It's been a really great season so far and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you like my content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. The links are below. I'm Surma11. See you next time and peace out.